Hi everyone, welcome to Math Tutorials 82, where we master together the skills that will set you up for success. So today we're going to be talking about numbers. And you might be asking yourself, well, what sort of numbers? So, natural numbers. Or numbers, including 1, that summed with 1 create the next natural number. So these would be 1, 2, 3, 4, up to infinity. So why are these numbers important? So these numbers are used to express both the size of a gas tank for a car or the gas mileage that a car may have. So you might be asking yourself, well, that's nice. So where can I find that information? So today we're going to be talking about 3 sorts of cars. We're going to be talking about the compact car, mid-size sedan, and the large SUV trucks. So with the compact car, normally the size of the gasoline tank is between 10 and 12. For the mid-size sedan, it's between 14 and 18. And for the large SUV trucks, it's between 20 and 30. So you might be now asking yourself, so what's the gas mileage for these? Well, I'll also provide that. That would be, for compact cars, it has a gas mileage of 30 miles per gallon up to 40. For the mid-size sedan, it's 25 to 35. And the large SUV trucks, it's 15 to 23. So you can tell that the gas mileage for a compact car is much better than for a large SUV truck. However, the large SUV truck has a larger gasoline tank in comparison to the compact car. So for instance, for example, we have a compact car and we would like to know what the amount of miles we can drive prior to having the car run out of gas. So in this case, for the compact car, it has a tank of either 10 or 12 and a gas mileage of either 30 or 40. So for the minimum, we can drive up to 300 miles, or if we have a gas mileage of 40, we can drive up to 400 miles. For the 12 gallon tank, if we have a gas mileage of 30, we can drive up to 360 miles, or we can drive up to 480 miles. So knowing that gas prices nowadays are going up due to the circumstances, saving on gas is one of our priorities. So how much does gas cost? So I used to think that gas prices were the same everywhere, but nowadays there are a multitude of apps and websites that allow you to look at different gas prices. So when I looked up online for gas prices at different gas stations nearby to me, I noticed that the smallest gas price, or the lowest, was actually $3.75, and the highest was $4.25. So as you can see, there's a big difference between gas prices, even in your same area. So if you've watched the video thus far, you get 1 gold star. So now that we've talked about the size of the gasoline tank for the compact car, mid-size sedan, and large SUV trucks, and their gas mileages, now let's discuss how much the difference is between going to the more expensive gas station and the more affordable one. So in my area, we saw that the more affordable one was $3.75, and the more expensive one is $4.25. This is all, of course, assuming that all of these cars are using the same type of gasoline. So that's one of our assumptions. So if you were to go in the compact car that has the minimum sized gasoline tank, you'd be saving between going to the more affordable gas station and the more expensive gas station. If you were to fill up the gas tank completely, $5. If you had the 12-gallon tank that you needed to fill up completely, the difference between going to the more affordable gas station and the more expensive one would be $6. So each time you fill up the tank completely, you're saving between $5 to $6 for the compact car, $7 to $9 for the mid-size sedan, and $10 to $15 between the large SUV and truck. So you might be asking yourself, so how many miles do we actually drive per year? So I have 5 different mileages. So one was 12,000 per year, 15,000, 18,000, 21,000, and 24. So I divided that monthly, to provide a monthly basis, and also daily. So here's where we get acquainted with rational numbers. These are numbers that have limited amount of decimal numbers. So in this case, it'd be 2 decimal spots. So continuing on, if you were to take those mileages, per month. So for instance, we take 12,000 miles, we divide by 12 to get 1,000 miles per month. And you divide that amongst the mileage that each car has, we would get the amount of miles or the amount of times the car would have to go to the gas station to completely fill up the car. And we multiply that by the difference between going to the more affordable gas station versus the more expensive gas station. And that gives us our savings per month per mileage. So here we are acquainted with irrational numbers. So you see this 13.33333 or this 16.6666. These continue on. Here it's rounded up at the end to 7. And here it's just left as 33.33333. So as you can see from here, the more mileage each car drives, the more the savings. And that's because the more times they're going to have to go to the gas station to fill up on gas, and thus they'll have a greater savings between going to the more expensive gas station and the least expensive gas station. So for instance, for the compact car, the difference between going to the more expensive gas station versus the more affordable gas station, if I drive 24,000 miles a year or 2,000 miles per month, is $33. For the large SUV, it's twice that, because the large SUV is going to be going twice as many times to the gas station, and thus will have twice the amount of gas savings. So in this case, it pays to actually have less gas mileage if you're going to be saving on gas, because you're going to be going more times and you're going to be needing more gas in order to fill up the tank, even though you're driving the same distance as the compact car, mid-size sedan, and large SUV. So I'll do a little recap. So in this case, the gas savings is more for the large SUV than for the mid-size and compact car, because it's going to be filling up the tank more times, even though they're all driving the same mileage per month and per year. So this is where things get interesting. So you might say, so the large SUV, which has a lower gas mileage, is actually getting more gas savings. So why would I want a car that can drive more miles? Well, simple. When you start looking at the amount of money you're actually spending on gas for each of these mileages, you're going to be spending less on the compact car and the midsize sedan as you are with the large SUV. So even though the large SUV is saving on gas, it's spending more on gas overall than the other car types because they require less time, or they don't require as many times to go to the gas station to fill up the tank. So in this case, per month, if you have a gas mileage of 40 and you're driving a compact car and you only drive 1,000 miles per month, you're going to be spending on gas $106. However, if you were to drive 2,000 miles, you'd be spending $187.50. In comparison to the large SUV, which will be spending more money because its gas mileage is lower and it's going to have to go many more times to the gas station to fill up the tank versus the compact car and midsize sedan. So for the worst case scenario where you have the minimum for all of the cars, the large SUV per month at 2,000 miles per month is going to be spending $500 versus $300 for the midsize sedan versus $250 for the compact car. And this starts to add up, especially when you look at it at a yearly basis, because while the SUV is going to be spending $6,000 per year on gas to drive 24,000 miles a year, the compact car is going to be spending $3,000 on gas, and the midsize sedan is going to be spending $3,600 on gas. So that's where the gas mileage kicks in. You want better gas mileage to be able to have to go less times to the gas station, to spend less money on gas, and this starts to add up. So you might be asking yourself, well, what would be the difference between the large SUV and the compact and mid-size car when it comes to actually spending money on gas? What are the savings? So for each mileage, for instance, for 1,000 miles per month, the compact car is saving $125 and the midsize is saving $100 in comparison to the large SUV. As the mileage goes up, the savings are greater because the more amount of money is being saved by using the compact car and the midsize sedan in comparison to the large SUV. So now what's the difference between the compact car and the midsize sedan? Well, the difference per month is $25 for a gas mileage of 30. And this is due to the gas mileage between the midsize sedan and the compact car not being that far off. So because the compact car minimum is 30 miles per gallon, but the midsize SUV is just 25, that's why the savings aren't that great. So they do add up per year because you do have a savings of $300 per year if you drive 12,000 miles per year or 1,000 miles per month. And it adds up as the more miles you drive. So in this case, if you were to drive 24,000 miles a year, you would save on the compact car, if it has a gas mileage of 30, $600. And if it has a gas mileage of 40, $321 versus the midsize sedan. So as I mentioned, this all adds up. If you were to purchase a new compact car and a midsize sedan, roughly the compact car costs between $18,300 and $25,890. And the midsize sedan costs between roughly $26,995 and $225. So in comparison to the large SUV, in a 5-year period, which is normally what it takes to purchase a new car, And if you're driving 24,000 miles a year, you're saving for the compact car between $8,300 to $15,000. And that's almost the cost of the compact car. So that's how much more money the large SUV is spending on gas during those 5 years in comparison to the compact car. So you almost can buy a compact car by just driving the SUV and filling it up with gas. So it just shows you that even the smallest savings can lead up, with time, can lead up to great, can lead up to big numbers in the long term. So this should just show you that though if you're going to purchase a car, gas mileage is essential to look at, and also the size of the tank, and foremost to always look in your area where the more affordable gas is being sold. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.